Veronika Duerr, she, her. The Constitution is a living document. That is what is so beautiful about it. It is a living, warm-blooded, steamy document. It is not a patchwork quilt. It is hot and sweaty. It is a crucible. Do you know what a crucible is? It is a pot in which you put many different ingredients and boil them all together until they transform into something else, something that is sometimes magic. So, you see, our Constitution is like a witch's cauldron. Of course, you all know so much more about the Constitution than I do because you all fought in wars. Thank you. Thank you for fighting for our country. And also for giving me so much scholarship money. Looking at all of you today, I am reminded of a fantasy I had as a little girl about being attacked by a rapist or murderer. A rapist or murderer who is a man, just like all of you. In my fantasy, I am able to convince the murderer and rapist not to murder me because I make you see that just like you, I am a human being. Grandma Betty and her good husband had 2 kids when my grandma got pregnant with my mom. One day she was feeling antsy and she wanted to go to the Cowlitz County Fair. My grandpa took an extra logging shift to pay for the tickets. He and his partner Ray were sawing a 150-foot evergreen tree. They misjudged the trajectory of the tree and it fell on my grandpa, killing him. My mom was born while my grandma was still grieving. My widowed Grandma Betty supported her 3 kids by working as a waitress at a local diner. A young barber came in often. He was good looking. My grandma loved good-looking men, as do I. My grandma married the barber pretty quickly, and pretty quickly he started to beat her up. He beat up her kids. They had 3 more kids together. He beat them up too. And, by the way, all of these kids grew up to be pretty happy. They grew up to be kind and loving people. They all have families that they adore and jobs that, like most of us, they kind of like. None of them perpetuated the abuse that had been inflicted on them. Now, I realize it's not great storytelling to skip to the end like that, but I don't want you to have to worry about them for the rest of the show. They are okay. This was not my grandma's dream job. What she really wanted to be was a painter. She taught herself to paint by copying Picasso, who was her favorite. So in her 1-bedroom house, it was covered with all of these shitty-looking Picasso reproductions. And when I was a little girl, I thought they were her paintings. It wasn't until high school that I realized Picasso, not my grandma, had painted the Weeping Woman. Whenever I think about the things the women in my family wanted to be, I get this weird pain in my back. And my throat squeezes up, like I can't get my voice out. I guess I just have this intense feeling of survivor's guilt. It's funny, Jean and I we stopped to visit my grandma on the way to my abortion. And I wanted to tell her what I was doing because I thought she might be happy for me. My great-grandmother had 16 children. My grandma had 6 children and a violent husband. I was the first generation in my family for whom childbirth was not obligatory, not mandated by the government. After the way my mom reacted, though,